There isn't a magic formula to win a conflict with your boss. There's no script that guarantees you'll come out on top when you disagree. I don't even know if you should win. Are you right? Could you be missing the big picture? Is your boss under some pressure or has some information you don't know about? Besides, why are you having a conflict instead of a discussion? After all, that's your boss. A question frequently asked of my mentor Jane is, how can I win in conflict? I've got a lot to teach you about handling disagreements, battles, and frustrations, or whatever you call it. But for now, let's start with just one question. If you learn to ask and answer it, you'll get better results in your next conflict with your boss and with anyone else. So you ready? Here's the question. Who's the enemy? Now, you may have heard the story about two little boys walking home from church, and they were discussing the subject of the devil. One boy said to the other, "Do you think the devil is real?" The other boy answered, "Well, you know how Santa Claus turned out. So don't worry, the devil's just your dad." Now, as cute as that sounds, most of us automatically assume when we're in a conflict with the boss that he's our enemy. There must be some degree of evil in his heart, or he's out to get me. Otherwise, he'd let me have my way. Conflict over. But most of the time, that's just not true. The real enemy is a lack of understanding about what's most important to your boss and why. Our human nature feels threatened when we think we aren't going to get what we need. So we unconsciously assign the role of villain or enemy to the other side. Our defenses go up, we stop listening and being curious. We assume that meeting your need must come at the cost of my needs not getting met. You'll never win a conflict with your boss if she truly is your enemy and out to get you. If she is, put your energy into getting out of there, not trying to win her over. But if she really isn't your enemy, who is the real enemy? Well, it could be scarce resources and budgets, time constraints, staff morale, turnover, government regulations, the competition, the economy. Let me give you an example from my experience. It was annual budget time, and my boss wouldn't consider my request for a measly 2% expense increase. He insisted my budget had to stay flat. The more I explained and debated, well, the more he objected and the deeper he dug in, and, well, pretty soon, both of us were getting pretty hot. Finally, I paused to notice how upset my boss was. Somehow, I was given the grace to remember, my boss is a decent guy. Overall, he's a good boss, and he supports me. So I said, look, I'm on your side. I understand you're under pressure to hold expenses. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I just want to meet my goals too. When my boss realized that I wasn't his enemy and I stopped treating him like he was my enemy, he relaxed, shared some of his pressures and frustrations. And then, as we both kind of talked and calmed down a little bit, he told me not to worry, that we'd work it out somehow. As it turned out, he reallocated to my budget some savings from staff turnover somewhere else in the department. He took care of me because I treated him like a human being and not the enemy. The reality is you're not always going to understand or agree with your boss. However, when you choose to look at the conflict with the mindset that your boss is not your enemy, the more likely she is to relax, drop her guard, and try to become your ally. To avoid the situation becoming adversarial, you need to have enough understanding of what's concerning your boss, what he or she needs, and why it's important to them. I can't script every conversation that you might have with your boss, but here are some phrases that you could practice going into a conversation that you might expect could turn into a conflict. Saying things like, I understand and I want to help. Or, I'm concerned about that too. Or, I agree, that's important. If you've made it safe, your boss may share some of her concerns and challenges, like my boss did. And when that happens, it can be really powerful to apologize and demonstrate your support by saying something like, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize that. How can I help? I hope you see the point is to communicate that you are not the enemy and the boss is not your enemy either. As your mentor, my goal is to help you build the mindset, skills, and habits that lead to your good life at home and on the job. If you want to win a conflict with your boss, or really anyone else, it's a matter of choosing your mindset. The boss is my enemy, unreasonable, unfair, against me. That's one mindset. A different mindset is, my boss has a job to do, is trying to do her best, and she wants me to succeed. If you choose the first mindset, buckle up because you're in for a fight. You're probably going to lose. But if you choose the other mindset, to see your boss as a human being, just like you, you'll earn the reputation as a leader top management wants to work with. And you'll probably win a lot more battles. For more skills and habits to help you be effective in conflict, click here for other videos that will make a difference in your life. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll call me my mentor, Jane.